microphones there, and is your... So, what did I miss? What did I miss? We got one of the ASCARS running very wide on the exit of Nelson there. That is the 96 car that has run very wide there, Steve Everson, and I think that's compromised him and lost him at least one of the ASCAR positions. Which one has gone through? We need to see. Here comes the Cerberus of Mike Saunders in the lead, as we'd expect. Steve Pearson, the BMW, in second place. And it's the 95 Lee Maddox, the white and orange car that's gone up into third. Lock up by 96. He's just got to get himself settled back down again now, doesn't he, really? He looks flustered.
Yeah, that little bit of a mistake there at Nelson. Might have just got into under his skin. Got to keep that head on him. Get that gap now to the 22 of Bicknell behind as they head now down towards turn 1. But that battle for third place, that battle between the ASCARs, keep a watchful eye on that one.
See, I'm just thinking as well that the car behind him, the 27 Martin Reynolds, I wonder whether that's Marcus Bicknell's old car. He used to have one of those. It's a very different livery because he would always be in the yellow and red that we see Marcus Bicknell in now, but that'd be quite poignant if his old car's there. And in fact, Marcus Bicknell is all over the back of 96 Steve Everson, the blue and red ASCAR, under huge pressure. So it looks to me as though they do take a little while to get the heat into the tyres, doesn't it? Because he was compromised on the exit of Nelson. We've got the challenge coming from Marcus Bicknell. He's looking up the inside towards Agostini. He's going to be on the inside line. Is he going to follow that one through? It looks like he is. Yes, up he goes, Marcus Bicknell. So that puts him into fourth place on the road, the middle of the three ASCARs in that sort of like private battle between them all now. But what that has enabled is the 95 Lee Maddox to actually move away at the lead of the ASCARs as it stands at the moment. I think Marcus Bicknell's going to look to do something about it, but it still means that in theory Steve Everson has got something that he's going to be able to pull out the bag before too long, because he was the quickest of the three ASCARs.
And Bicknell's got to be careful because of the sort of three ASCARs are very close together in terms of he's sort of battling his time lost.
Yes, that's very true. I mean, the lead two don't have to worry about that. They're already making their way forward. Nelson, I mean, it's just such a great sight, isn't it?
It's absolutely fantastic. Make the way now through Bob Hole and then towards Cora
And it looks to me that Marcus Bicknell's already reeling in. Maddox has run wide there. He forgot to make friends to the apex as they went round the sweeping right-hander. Big lock-up again from Everson. Something's not quite right on the setup to that car. I wonder if that means that the track has evolved and changed since they were out in qualifying, even though it wasn't very long ago. It may be slightly different, but look at this. Marcus Bicknell, we were worried that he had a problem at the end of qualifying because he was coasting. It looks okay at the minute, that yellow and red 22 car.
It definitely looks okay at the minute. He'll want to be on that pace now as they head towards Wilson and that right-hander, hairpin.
Leaders already on the infield, the yellow TBR Cerberus of Mike Saunders, car 99, addition to your programme, and he is keeping well and truly ahead, as we'd expect from the victory car Stephen Pearson. He got the double victory yesterday, and he's probably cussing that Cerberus rocked up. It wasn't even on the entry list, for goodness sake, and he's now had the chance of another couple of victories today snatched away from him. But it's all good fun, the all-comers race.
Absolutely, and the name is exactly that. We could see pretty much any car turn up, and today we've seen a TBR who is currently, it looks like, just over 4 seconds a lap faster than the BMW of Pearson. Have a look at the ASCAR battle then, that battle for third place. Maddox
is under growing pressure. Maddox had an issue in the first in the qualifying session, and he came in early. He's obviously got a working transponder now because we're getting sectors from him as well, so I'm glad that they've got that resolved. Onto the Bentley Straight they go, and are we going to get a good run down the Bentley Straight by the yellow and red 22 ASCAR of Marcus Bicknell? Not sure whether we're going to get that just yet, but down the Bentley Straight, under the bridge they go, and in towards Brundle and Nelson. They're still absolutely glued together. Marcus Bicknell's trying to, even if it's just such back. In fact, now Everson has got himself cranked up because he's onto the back of Marcus Bicknell now, and round Nelson they go towards the bomb hole. It's suddenly gone back to being a 3-car fight again.
Absolutely, and with these 3 cars so close in performance with each other, the straights are where they're going to be really closely matched then as they make their way now towards Coram and towards the final corner once again. That's a familiar line then from the 95 of Maddox, right wide there. On the exit of Coram gives him that apex guarantee then in towards Murray's as they make their way now towards the start-finish line along the centre straight and towards that start-finish line once again. They're just running side by side. In fact, the number 22 pulls to the left-hand side and takes away that 3rd position then. So that is Bicknell then up to 2nd place, passing the number 95 of Maddox then. And now it could be Everson's turn to have a go at Maddox now. That was a lovely move from Bicknell, perfectly timed down the start-finish straight.
Considering he was the one that was having the pressure applied, it looks like we got side by side down at Wilson, because all of a sudden Maddox is under pressure from the blue and red 96 car of Everson. I said he was coming strong. Marcus Bicknell's just romped away from them, so through has gone Everson as well. So that's completely about turn, doesn't it? The 3 ASCARS there, and I suspect maybe not for the last time either.
Last time, I guarantee you that, but Maddox now that pressure on Everson,
Switched around, good move up at Wilson there from Everson, and he obviously has just taken a little bit longer to be able to get that car sort of ramped up in this. We saw him have a sort of very wide moment at Nelson, and he never took a long time to settle after that and get the confidence back again. Very wide there through Oggies, but I don't think that's cost him too much. Marcus Bicknell's licking his lips as he's now onto the Bentley straight already, pulled out a massive gap over those 2.
Yeah, and because those 3 cars are pretty much equal, we saw about 3 of their qualifying times. If the 2 behind are battling, then that's where it's in for Bicknell. He's able to extend that gap.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, the bad news for him is I think going down the Bentley straight, I sort of caught a sneaky peek that it looked to me as though Everton put away. As though Everton is now all of a sudden right on the back of Marcus Bicknell. Goodness me, it's like almost as if they just wait for each other if the gap gets too big. And they're glued together through the bomb hole, so it is the yellow and red 22 that just about has the nod in that ASCAR fight from Everson 96, with the red and blue car now trying to come back at him. Hopefully it's not a reoccurrence of whatever issue that Maddox had in qualifying that has just compromised him here. The lead 2, by the way, still scampering off into the distance. 99, Mike Saunders in the TVR Cervera, 17 seconds clear of Steve Pearson now in the number 53. But Stephen Pearson in that BMW doing a great job. And here we go, we got the challenge. 96 Everson gets himself back up there to be the lead ASCAR, which he was in qualifying, but that's taken him until 4 laps into the race to get himself back into that position that he'll feel is rightly his own. I'm still not convinced that that's going to settle down just yet.
Absolutely not. With over 10 minutes to go. Don't forget, this is a battle for a trophy. This is 3rd place.
Only one of them's going to get it.
So they are going to be fighting tooth and nail for that last trophy.
Doesn't that almost make it even better, because we knew that we were going to get a good ASCAR fight, but the fact that it literally is only one of them, the lead one of these 3 is going to be the one that's going to pick up a trophy, the 3rd place trophy up onto the podium. It's just adds another dimension to that fight.
Yeah, absolutely, and all 3 of them look like they're really respectable of each other as they now make their way on the exit there of turn number 4 of Agostini, on their way through the left-hander of Hamilton. There from the number 96. I wonder if he just can't get his brakes warmed up enough.
That's a good point. I was talking about the tyres, but the brakes are going to be just as big an issue, because I can only assume that these are pretty heavy cars. It's got to be surely, the NASCAR cars, they've always been deliberately, I call it agricultural. There's nothing fandangle technical in them. It is just brute force race car in there, and you'd assume that that's going to be the same situation from here. Through goes Mike Saunders, still leading 5 laps down with over half race distance. We're going to get to 10 laps for these guys. That would surprise me. I thought we would get to 10 laps. I'm sure we did yesterday. If we're over half time gone and we've only just completed 5, it's probably going to be more like 9 laps for these guys. 2nd place Pearson goes through. And they've put a lap on Claxton in the 86 car as it stands at the moment. And then it's all about this ASCAR fight onto the centre straight. They come, and I got a feeling that Bicknell's lining up a move along the straight. He's going to move to the side, and he's going to sweep. The slipstream effect has worked there. Up goes 22, Marcus Bicknell. He's the one that's picking up the trophy as it stands at the moment. Down to 4th place goes 96, Everson. And Maddox at the moment in that 95 car is just having to take a watching brief. I'm still not convinced that car's at full health, you know.
Well, that could be the case, but if these ASCARs are going to be at home anywhere on the track, it's along the start-finish straight and, of course, down the Bentley straight.
True.
That's where they're going to be at home.
Yeah, no, that's a good comment, exactly. And it's another car that's like a brick going through the air, so it's going to get some serious slipstream effects by the looks of what we saw there. And it keeps doing it where it looks like they've pulled out too big a gap to be able to do anything about it. We've got it here again, is that Everson's fallen a long way back from Marcus Bicknell in the yellow and red 22 car as it stands at the moment, but we keep seeing that then disappear again. So I think with a bit of luck, we'll have the same again.
Yeah, all three of the back on the number 86 of Claxton as they make their way down towards Oggy. So that could bunch them back up again.
It could, couldn't it? Because looking at that now, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually encounter him through Brundle and Nelson, which is going to be a tricky part. Everson seems to have dropped away on his pace as it stands. He's back into the clutches of Maddox, and Bicknell's romped away from them. But, as I said earlier, we did see that earlier as well.
Out of the way, but you can see the yellow and red number 22 of Bicknell still trying to pick up that slipstream. All slipstream is good slipstream.
Yeah, he's going to try and catapult himself past the Dolomite Sprint. Has he done it at Brundle and Nelson? Yes, he has. And he's shaking his tail feather there from the 95 car of Maddox, but it didn't cause any great issue. Shouldn't have triggered an alarm for track limits either. Leader's gone through, 6 laps completed. Pearson goes through in the 53 BMW, sat there in 2nd position as well. And so we will wait and see. Bicknell still comfortably in the lead as it stands at the moment. The other two have got past the back marker, so they're clear.
Actually, the red number 22 of Bicknell coming in. These tyres as well. These might be hard endurance tyres, but too many lockups like that, and these tyres are not going to feel the greatest side of it.
No, I know that I was talking about the fact that we've seen it stretch out and then come back again. That does still look like too big a lead for Bicknell, but if he keeps doing what you saw him do at Murray's, it could bring him back into the clutches of these two behind him, couldn't it? But at the moment, it looks like Marcus is doing all he needs to do. And maybe that was just the wake-up call he needed into Murray's to go, hold the fort, I don't need to push it quite so hard. And just sort of like coast it back. Coast it back, just comfortably, keeping himself. He's got a big enough gap that he doesn't need to push it excessively hard.
Absolutely right. We've still got the number 96 and the number 95 of Everson and Maddox in that order still. You would think that the number 95 of Maddox will have the advantage going down the Bentley Straight. He'll have the slipstream as we have a look now down towards Brundle, left-hander. See, going through.
You're not supposed to refer to it as brown, you still got to call it grass, right?
I mean, that's a long goal.
It has, and that goes to show how many people sort of flout the rules of track limits, isn't it? But that's brown after a very difficult 2019 season. Not quite finished here at Snetterton, of course. Was it next week? It's the Time Attack and the firework festival, which I was asked to be able to do, but I'm away with my family, so I wasn't able to come back here and do that one, sadly. But it looks like it's going to be quite an atmosphere that is going to be put on for that event here. But yes, the grass on the exit there is showing the test of time there, sort of thing.
The test of time is, I think, an understatement.
Yeah, good, fair comment. Still the 27 car, I'm absolutely loving that as well. Martin Reynolds is still coming around in that big American muscle car. Let's have a look. Coming to the infield. Marcus Bicknell's already going through Agostini, so he's comfortably in that second. Everson's shaking off the attentions in the 96 car of the orange and white 95 of Maddox as it stands at the moment. But again, he had done that, but going through Agostini, and it suddenly looks like, excuse me, the 95 car's back with him again. But Mike Saunders, 32 seconds in the lead from the 53 car of Pearson. So he is doing everything he needs to do at the moment. And Ford Mustang and Reynolds is the next target of Saunders to put a lap on the, what position? 6th position. Is he going to get all the way up to the ASCARS? Surely not. That's too big an ask to be able to lap the ASCARS as well. In fact, no, he's not, because we're down into 3 minutes left to go. So it is going to be a 10-lap race just. They're going to get across. He's going to get across the line. The clock will run out fairly early on that 10th lap, so that's why I was fairly surprised that if we weren't going to get to 10, we absolutely are. Pearson goes through. 2.5 minutes left to go, so even he's through with more than a lap time left to go. So this is their penultimate tour of the circuit, and here come the ASCARS. Marcus Bicknell just serenely cantering away from the rest. I mean, it looks quick now, doesn't it, that Marcus Bicknell car?
It does. He's actually just set his personal best of the race at 209.031, which is actually half a second quicker than Pearson ahead of him, who also set his personal best.
Yeah, I had a suspicion that was going to be the case, because you just looked, Marcus Bicknell it looked the quickest that we've seen it so far during the course of today. Because it's
a spin, is it?
Oh.
Up at Wilson, I think that's
Bicknell. That's got to be Bicknell, isn't it? Has he got going again? Yellow flag still waving. Can't quite make out with the route. In fact, the marshals are moving around there, so Marcus Bicknell, after making all those comments, he's had a moment on the exit of Wilson there, and he hasn't got it going again. So I don't know whether that means he actually spun and made contact with the barriers. As I say, normally in the past we've had a camera on the exit of Wilson. In fact, we can see him there. He's on the grass on the exit by the looks of it. I think I can just make out in the distance there. And he hasn't managed to get that one going again. So up to third now goes the 96 car of Everson, with only, our leader now goes on to his final tour with just over 60 seconds left to go. Those two cars together going through all. He's standing to the final step of the podium, but Maddox 95, I think he's realised, because he's just sized up the inside of the 96 car of Everson. Everson's not got long to reply. He's got a lap and a half left to go to see if he wants to get himself up into that third position and onto the podium. But the leader, Mike Saunders, he's already going up to the scene of the crime. In fact, he's made his way down and he's passed that already. The stricken car of Marcus Bicknell up there. Cause or effect? I mean, there's the question, isn't it? Oh, red flag. Red flag is out now, actually. So, yeah, that car is in too vulnerable a position, sadly. Our leader was on the final lap, so it is going to be as it is. And Pearson just saw that red flag after he'd gone past the